What's happening? I'm Isaiah Coleman, and this is Masculinity Monday. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm also the curator of The Connected, where I want to bring awareness and attention to all men in particular, but to all people about your connection, first off, with yourself, believing in yourself, believing that you deserve the most. Secondly, with your family, honoring the people who did not choose necessarily to have you lead their life. So if you're leading children, specifically them, making sure that you're honoring them, but also honoring your spouse, your partner, and making sure that you are being loyal, being considerate, being respectful of that individual. And then lastly, your community, ensuring that we are serving and contributing to our community. None of us were born to be takers. We were born to be givers. We're born to give back to the world, to contribute to making the world a better place in a number of different ways. So thank you again for tuning in. This is Masculinity Monday. Let's get it. I want to talk to you all about something that affects us all, but not everybody talks about it. I think in this social media age, we seldom forget that people aren't always perfect, or people aren't always feeling their best, or may look their best, or may operate in the best presence or the best of their ability, right? Like, we have bad days, right? Point blank period. We have bad days sometimes. And I think we are often hard on ourselves when we have bad days. If we aren't always good, if we're not always thinking the most positive, if we're not always confident, we sometimes don't give ourselves some grace. And I just want to share an experience that I just had recently where I wasn't feeling my best. It started really with a night out drinking. I was out with some friends, I had a good time, and it low-key turned into, I kind of like spiraled, man. And this is why I really need to stop drinking, period. But I'm being real with y'all. Every now and again, I like to have a good time. I like being around the people I love, my friends, my family. Anyway, I had a good night drinking. I woke up the next day not feeling my best, and it kind of just snowballed. It kind of just spiraled. I didn't really have the energy that I wanted to interact with my children. I wasn't the most present. I was really like milking my feelings, like my stomach, my head, all those different things were bothering me. And it kind of took me off my path. It knocked me off my rocker pretty bad for about a day. And almost into a second day, until I was like, okay, I got to get out the house. I got to get to the gym. I got to do those things that bring me back to alignment. And some of you may be thinking like, well, yeah, Zay, you had a hangover. But I'm telling you, it wasn't just a hangover. It was like I was in this mindset and this mind state of like doubting myself and second guessing myself and not feeling the most confident or capable that I usually feel, right? And I understand too, right? Alcohol is a depressant. Alcohol will bring you down. It will lower your esteem in some ways. So I'm bringing this up to you because ultimately we all get knocked off our rocker. And I'm curious and I'm hopeful that we all have a way to rebound, a way to get back on our horse, a way to get back into alignment with ourselves. And for me, it's going to the gym. Like when I go to the gym and I push myself really hard and I'm coming out sweating and I'm getting my mind right, like it refocuses my mind and it allows me to, again, just kind of get back on track. A second thing that I noticed was just getting outside. Like the moment I got outside, not the day right after drinking, but that once I got into that second day, I got outside in that fresh air, that movement. It kind of woke me back up a little bit. It made me a little bit more aware, and that was super helpful. The third thing that I did after I worked out was I started to delve back into my routine a little bit, where on Sundays I go to the grocery store and I restock and repile or stockpile my food that I like to eat during the week, my fruits, my vegetables, my meats, my chickens, and rice and all those good nutritious foods that we're supposed to be eating on a regular basis. I go to the grocery store. So I went to the grocery store, took care of that, and it helped me start getting back on track. And then I started interacting with my children a little bit more, being more present, playing with them, chasing them again. And before you know it, I was back on track. I share this with you. I share this with you because sometimes some of us fall into a rut and we don't have the tools on how to rebound. Sometimes we stay in that rut much longer than when we need to. So I know it's super, super difficult. I know it's super hard because our mental, it almost feels like it has us like in bondage. It almost feels like it has us trapped and we can't do anything. But I want to urge you that whatever your mind is saying that you can't do, whatever your mind is saying, don't do this is not going to help. You got to fight your behind off to do the opposite. You got to fight your tail off to go outside. You got to fight your tail off to get back in your routine. You got to fight your tail off to get back to the gym. Whether you need to take a shot of some pre-workout, whether you need to drink some coffee, something that's just going to kind of get your nerves and your energy going, you got to fight like hell sometimes to get back in your routine. All right. We have a lot going on in our lives. If you're an adult watching this, I know you have a lot going on in your life, and you need to be the best version of you, not just for you, but for the people around you. And we don't have time to be falling off our rocker. But if it happens, give yourself grace because it's normal, but we don't have time to stay there. We don't have time to waste, right? This world, there's a lot going on in this world. If you're keeping up with what's happening, we just bombed Iran. No approval, no ask, no questions, no nothing. We just bombed Iran, right? So I bring that up because nothing's guaranteed, nothing's promised, and we have to get busy living, all right? I hope this was helpful to you. I'm Isaiah Coleman. This is The Connected. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Masculinity Monday, but first and foremost, if you're into this type of stuff, like, follow, and subscribe. And until next time, I'll see you next week. Peace.